Attention gamers, it's no secret that the balance team at Riot is severely understaffed in the thinking department, as they've proven time after time to be unable to make a small change without completely breaking it in some way or another, but I can't blame them. There's probably some overly calm fact-speaking TikToker out there saying something like, "Did you know there's 163 champions and over 200 items in the game?"
Now you do.
So it's of no surprise that when they announced that stormrazor would be getting a makeover, that they would find a way to turn it from crusty turd that no one buys into some kind of busty nuts broken monstrosity that every ADC buys first. But now this opens up free LP for us right-clickers, as the amount of cocaine speed enemas we can get by rocking stormrazor with the rune that makes your footwork quite fleet is insane. Pair it with this butch cut bird breeders W or counting Dracula, who both have kits that bake in bursts of speed like they are brownies, and bam, I just found the stupidest way to get way ahead from just one item in the game. But I'm not just here to show you the latest exploit in this game, I'm also here to change your opinion about others. Most people would say that Raid Shadow Legends is the most popular reason for people clicking ahead in videos, but it's also the most popular mobile MMORPG. There's more details in this game than the plot of Inception, but the way I play it is by unlocking new champs with shards and then trying to level them up in the campaign alone, only to fail harder than an ADC main trying to climb in solo queue. I then have options to drop them off in the AFK level me up daycare, or to feed them a few rare candy boos in the tavern. I love watching them grow in strength and then adding them to group rosters to progress through the game. It's always getting something new, like right now there's a Call of the Arbiter limited series event going on, and you can unlock Mr. Zug Zug here just by logging in 7 days between now and July 24th. They are always giving their players goodies, like how using my link or QR code to download will give you silver energy skill tomes boosts and an epic champ to start your journey. So in a time where Twitch and YouTube are making it hard for creators to make a living, thank Raid for supporting my content, and let's get into the games. Alright, so now I know a lot of Rift rubberneckers are gonna be asking me to spill the sauce in terms of runes, so here is something I cooked up, but really just get the golden Nikes that drank a Red Bull and you'll be fine. I was up against a Fiora, which in my ELO means this person breathes out of their mouth loudly and doesn't have much else going for them in life, and I know this one just can't say no to any opportunity to do a little jab joust, even if it means getting lit on fire and having to run away ignite ticking like it has Tourette's until I nab myself first blood. Then a minute later I see my Fiora weakness nipple is angled towards her, so I know she'll be looking to bitch slap me from that angle, to which I get stuck with my stunned chick dick in hand thinking I just got outplayed, but luckily she forgot to read the minion manual, where it states these little shitters are both territorial and defensive, and so they help me come out on top. Anyways, half their team disappears early on as if they are an average league player's dad, but I just know they are probably half done filling out the adoption paperwork for Big Ron. But here's the thing. I know as much as you that they are just gonna take that thing home, treat it like shit, train it against its will to tackle statues until it dies, and then use it for their own profit, so something has to be done about it. And by something I mean I'm gonna ride around on my bird like it's a new scooter in 2005 until it's time to start contributing. I'm a zero-item marksman, which to any non-league player means I have to play like the biggest pussy imaginable, or else I will get knocked up like a crack pipe hooker who can't afford birth control until everyone pisses off, giving just me and fencing Felicia some alone time, as if that's the thing two top laners want any more of. So I miss all my shit, murder her to feel better about it, and then flash the metal monster who has bad intentions for how we would have spent our time together. I now have first item stormrazor, hashtag need to call attention to it for the clickbait police, but this also means that I'm so fast you could give me a selfie stick, shove me in the woods and call me Keemstar, but it also means this jousting jagoff can ult all she wants. The fights are only gonna get more lopsided than a little cruise ship known as the Titanic. I decide to stay and rack up so many plates you'd think I'm a gym bro, but really I'm just a hunchback skinny bitch with an emotional support phoenix who doesn't ward. But not to fear, Riot's rework of stormrazor is here, and I don't know what that Kaz's plan was, but I do know it didn't go as he expected. Then I'm playing the game where I act Jewish and opt into not spending any of my money, which will surely offend some random high school agnostic white chick out there saying, "Oh no, that's so racist, he just stereotyped a whole religion into being smart with their money and not giving into shallow possessions." I feel triggered. But I'm not gonna stop, because as some people would say, let's change it up. I thought, why play a solo laner if you aren't gonna rub it into some little nepotism hire at the Piltover police station that you have 3 levels on her as per Riot's infallible design, and that her only play in this situation is to go back to base and think about what she did wrong when she queued for that role. Turns out Ginger Tits wasn't exactly having a bar mitzvah mid herself, but it's good because me and my Articuno flavored Uber driver were in the area to claim the hardest earned shutdown of the century before redirecting my focus towards Grape Taint Mordekaiser to make sure he doesn't pull an Alinity and get away with cat abuse. At this point we are winning the team deathmatch. My farm is dank, and when it comes to kills call me Brady because I have a bunch. I'm honestly thinking I got their Fiora to rage quit as I haven't seen her in a hot minute, yet some piece of titlint thinks we should forfeit. I say no, which is going to trigger this one little shit who comments on every single video I vote no on any surrender vote with a timestamp of me saying no as the reason he is disliking the video, as if that's not just a dead giveaway of some mental trauma mommy issues radiating out of that kid. But sorry, I was not going to give this one up, you Cheetos breath bottle feeding loser. Anyways, we have their team more pushed in than a turd during butt stuff, and fortunately my emotional support Uber has a detour to get me to dead bitchville, so I send the Demogorgon there first and then I start humming gently. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes where I am, she and this Lux is dead. Turns out Fiora didn't rage quit, she just had to step out to take a massive shit or take her ADHD medication, who knows, but it is worth showing that even 2 levels up with enough movement speed to qual for hurdles in the Summer Olympics, I most definitely cannot just turn my brain off and win fights against her. On the other hand, Cupcake, or whatever her pink-haired girlfriend called her, was weaker than a wet piece of paper as I hit her with the mid-fight minion murder disrespect during the kill. Then, for those of you who didn't know, when you have 12 kills on Quinn and hit your W, it actually gives you the ability to see into the future, as it reveals the next person you know who is going to pass away.
Now you do.
That said, Dragon is up, which in my elo is almost a guarantee that some fuckery will be going down, so I hang in the outskirts like I'm doing a Halo 2 campaign playthrough until pissed in my PJs Lux is killable. I get taken to Mordekaiser's variant of Epstein's Island, but unfortunately for him I will not be the one getting the D, and then for dessert I have a dish of dragonfly tartare served raw. And this 16-1 performance was enough for the enemy team to do the thing that would make Cherizo so proud, marinating in the gooch sweat he's accumulated from violently jerking off to his paid subscription to Sky Breeze, sticking butt plugs up her asshole. And with that, I think Game 1 was a pretty stupid advertisement for the power of Stormrazor. But I know some of you will be like, you just got fed early and snowballed, which is why I wanted to show you this next game. You see, I queued ADC in this one, and the enemy Pyke was in town from Smurfsville, USA, while my support was first timing a computer, so naturally they were the first to level up, we were the first to die, and I was sure as shit the first to be pissed off. I'm 100% aware that my own gameplay here could use a boob job, but my support was really role-playing his skin by being on another fucking planet mentally the entire laning phase. Thankfully this Callista was a grade A silver spoon in her mouth fed ADC, and when Pyke wasn't around her performance was on par with Viagra's target audience. This leaves Steel Tits Nunu under tower, and while the general pattern during laning phase in this game is for laners to return from base to their lane, our Maokai was still learning that, so he has a surprise run in with Smurf, but us hard stucks don't abandon a plan once it's made, so I dip my toes in the homicidal waters and then peace out. At this point all I want is for my support to not be pacing around like he has to piss 3 screens behind me so that I can walk up to the damn wave, but I guess my best play is to get hooked flash like a strobe light and then prove that we can win fights if you'll just grow some balls on one of those branches. I have now retrieved a razor from the storm, so when Smurfy Murphy comes in thinking he's just gonna draw X's on us, we show him that things are gonna change around here until he has to get bailed out by being sucked up bouncy Brittany's butthole before thinking that heading straight back into the slaughter he just escaped was a good idea. So he dies and we start fleeing the crime scene. UFO fetish Maokai 1 Pluto's peanut from finding out if there's a heaven in any galaxy, but I do my part in making sure that day isn't today. I'm now starting to feel the tides turning. Every time I find myself more out of position than a Kanye song at a synagogue, Jupiter Tits comes to the rescue, which leaves Callista chasing the dopamine from a big Ren only to bust her nut too late. I start chasing Pyke away thinking he's not that scary of a smurf after all, until he pulls off one of the smoothest fucking plays I've seen in one of my own piss pit elo games. Maokai of course gets defensive and butthurt in chat while I'm giving credit to where it's due, sucking up to this shitter like he's my ticket to a promotion. Anyways, they get tower, but we cut off the route that GPS would recommend they use to get to safety, so we split up and have Bobby the Beetle head over first. Pyke gets out because that's what Pikes do, but bouncing Brittany clearly has no sense of direction when the GPS is turned off, so we help her out and show her how to get back to base. Our top is getting pissed on more than an airport urinal, and to make matters worse theirs is a wind shitter, but luckily stormrazor on this champ has me flat walking out of Yone ults like ICBA and has these fights turning out much better than they should. Their pike is still acting like I gave him my number and told him I was down to Netflix and chill because the dude just wouldn't leave me alone, but his greed was starting to look more like feed. If only he knew the only one I wanted to Netflix and chill with was this bombshell blonde. But she passed away early. At this point when you look at me you can see I'm starting to get fed, whereas when you look at this Callista you just know somewhere out there a village is missing its idiot, so we catch up to her and put her out of her misery before euthanizing this metal moron right after. Smurfy Murphy was in the area, but despite me firing a round into that fat frog's face, he didn't stand a chance. Their Lux was busy bragging about how her dad is still in her life while this Yone was flat out proving that his was not. We started stomping down mid, me with the security knowing that my first auto attack would have me busting out of there like a newborn, but their plan to come at us from all angles failed to account for the fact that they all suck ass and were gonna die miserably for trying. Yone was continuing to show us that all wind shitters are the same when you peel back the layers, as I somehow managed to kill him seemingly just by looking at him, and then I admittedly got carried away by drooling in the midst of danger, but I had flash and a bunch of zoomies that I figured I would put to good use by playing Kill the Callista. There was white meat on the menu at McDragon's tonight and everyone wanted a piece as Lux came in charadesing that she wanted to be given a participation trophy despite doing nothing of value this whole game, but I personally didn't think it was deserved. Callista makes a very late appearance and I guess Riot themselves felt bad for how dog water she was by saying this W didn't hit her, but not to fear her ratchet ass decision making was still here, so she eventually found a way to die anyways. So yeah, I was more fed than a hippo with high blood sugar in a game that arguably started out pretty much the way all my random solo queue with a sussy baka support games do, but I'll say it again, stormrazor is giving marksman a one item spike like they've never had before, so give it a try. Give Raid Shadow Legends one as well using my link or QR to get these dank rewards. And then join me in disliking Sherry's next comment in one of my videos. Rav out.